For months, nobody thought we'd hear another word about Drake's messy legal fight with Universal Music Group. Most people figured it was just another industry dispute that quietly died out. But out of nowhere, things flipped. Federal Judge Vargas dropped a bombshell when he granted UMG's motion to dismiss the entire case, wiping it off the books completely. Fans were left stunned, wondering how one of the biggest artists in the world just lost such a high-profile battle so suddenly. It's proof that in this business, courtrooms can end careers faster than beef ever could.
Back against the wall, I either go all the way filthy or I fall back, and I have this sort of chink in my armor for the rest of time.
Drake actually went to war with his own label, UMG Recordings, claiming they crossed the line with Kendrick Lamar's explosive track, Not Like Us. In his lawsuit, he accused the company of pulling strings behind the scenes, setting up a whole campaign to tear down his image while using Kendrick as the perfect hitman in the spotlight. Drake insisted it wasn't random timing at all. He believed UMG let that diss drop right before his contract renewal talks. In his eyes, it was a calculated move to make him look weak and lower his power at the table.
Purists and people who just love confrontation, they love to say, hey man, there's no rules in this shit, but there are fucking rules in this shit. Of course.
That argument hit hard, especially since Drake was one of the main people who helped build that rivalry in the first place. For over a decade, he and Kendrick had been throwing slick lines, sneaky jabs, and subtle shade through their music, all while pretending it was just competition. Fans ate it up, calling it lyrical chess, but everyone knew there was real tension underneath. What made it wild was that Drake was now calling foul on a battle he'd once fueled himself, proving that in hip-hop, friendly fire can turn into a full-blown war real quick.
No, like after Kendrick's thing, you wouldn't. I noticed you didn't really get into that too much. So
I just I don't know. It just wasn't real to me. It's like, was that real or was that just like for the people? You know what I mean?
I think it's a sparring kind of sport.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, then let it be real. Then
But you seem just now a little irritated by it. No?
Really? I don't know if it was worth it, because there's a lot of people that were mentioned that I feel like can't really go back and fuck with that guy after that. You know what I'm saying?
Hip-hop's always been like a competitive sport. Everybody wants that top spot. When fans heard rumors that Drake, J. Cole, and Kendrick might actually link up for a collab, it felt like peace was finally possible. But Kendrick wasn't having it. He shut the door on that offer, and that move lit the fuse. Cole and Drake struck back with First-Person Shooter, and Kendrick clapped back harder with Like That. From that moment, all signs of unity disappeared. Cole backed off, Drake charged forward, and their lyrical war officially became modern rap history in real time.
You can't even walk outside, because anytime we're at a party, someone's gonna play a song that's about you being a pedophile, and we're gonna sing along to it.
The fallout hit like a storm, and Drake felt every bit of it. His reputation took one of the hardest hits of his entire career. Everywhere you turned, crowds were screaming the lyrics to Not Like Us, turning concerts and clubs into massive anti-Drake rallies. Even people who barely followed rap were joining in just for the hype. For an artist who built his empire on charm, image, and dominance, this was more than just a diss. It was humiliation on a global stage. You could almost feel the sting through the silence that followed his next move.
You said that I could never let you down.
By the time award shows and halftime performances turned into full-blown comedy skits at Drake's expense, you could tell the frustration was boiling over. Every camera pan and slide joke felt like another jab at his pride. But then came the twist nobody saw coming. Drake went legal. He filed a federal lawsuit against his own label, shocking both fans and critics. The internet went wild, calling it one of the most unexpected, and some even said Karen-level or reactions hip-hop had ever seen. It wasn't just music beef anymore. It was turning into a courtroom spectacle.
Drake filed a lawsuit for defamation against Universal Music Group.
In the court filing, Drake went all in, accusing UMG of secretly boosting Not Like Us using bots, radio payola, and a whole web of promotion tactics meant to crush his career. He said the song wasn't just disrespect, it was straight up defamatory and even dangerous to his safety. But here's where the irony hit crazy levels. This is the same Drake who's always said lyrics should never count as real evidence in court. Yet now he was asking a judge to treat another artist's words like a threat on his life. Talk about flipping the script.
I study rap battles for a living.
If the court had actually sided with Drake, it could have rewritten the whole playbook for music and free speech in the US. Imagine one ruling deciding how far an artist can go with their lyrics. But that didn't happen. Defamation suits from celebrities almost never win, and Judge Vargas caught on fast. She pointed out the obvious. Drake himself had dropped plenty of diss tracks loaded with personal shots and accusations. It was hard to cry foul when he played the same game for years. The courtroom energy shifted instantly, from sympathy to straight up disbelief.
You put your hands on your girl. She's been engaged for years. You're not married yet. You living in New York. She's not.
Judge Vargas didn't hold back. She pulled up receipts, Drake's own lyrics where he'd thrown wild claims about Kendrick's family, hinted at cheating, and even tossed around talk of abuse. She said it straight. Both rappers blurred the line between fact and fiction, and that's part of the art. Her ruling made it clear that any reasonable listener knows these disses are exaggerated heat, not literal truth. Nobody actually believed Drake was some kind of predator. It was all seen as lyrical provocation, playing off his public ties with younger celebrities and the controversy that shadowed his fame.
I met Drake in an Australian hotel. I was touring and he was touring too. And honestly, his managers just came up to my dad and said, "Drake loves the show, come to his show tonight." And I was like, "Are you joking me? Drake? He wants to see me?" And I was like, "Okay, we're going." So I got my outfit prepared, I went there, and he was such a fanboy and I was such a fangirl. And honestly, we text all the time now. He helps me with everything, just life lessons. And we went to dinner afterwards and we had dinner the next day and then we met in Sydney. So we just texted each other the other day and he was like, "I miss you so much." I was like, "I miss you more."
What advice does he give you? What does he say?
About boys, he helps me.
What?
Yeah, he's great. He's wonderful, I love him.
What's his advice with boys?
That stays in the text messages.
The judge even brought up real-world examples to back her point, including Drake's publicly known friendship with then 13-year-old Millie Bobby Brown, saying that this context explained why those lyrical jabs hit the way they did. In the end, the court made it plain and simple: opinions, no matter how sharp or uncomfortable, can't count as defamation. The judge stressed that hip-hop is built on expression and exaggeration, not courtroom evidence. Audiences, she said, should be smart enough to know the difference between an artist spitting bars and someone delivering cold, hard facts.
At least you shouldn't, that is, but we know in 2025, a lot of people live and die based on what podcasters say.
Because he said you have an illegitimate daughter, you groom women, and then Drake's comeback was, "I don't have an 11-year-old daughter," and Brian said, "Hey bro, address the other shit."
Things got even weirder when Drake's legal team tried to dig into Kendrick's UMG contract and personal details tied to Dave Free. That's when people started side-eyeing the whole situation. To a lot of fans and industry insiders, it didn't look like justice anymore. It looked like desperation. Instead of defending his name, it felt like Drake was hunting for dirt to flip the story. What started as a bold stand for integrity suddenly came off like a PR move, a last-ditch effort to protect his pride and control the narrative.
You know, yeah, man, fuck all y'all pussies, man, for real, man. I see y'all boys outside when I see y'all, man, for real, man. On some real shit, outside some body shit, man. I'm gonna see y'all boys when I see y'all, man, for real. You know, I got hope about it, man, for real.
Even during his flashy Iceman live stream rollouts, Drake just couldn't let it rest. He kept tossing out cryptic hints about some mysterious secret evidence, claiming UMG and Kendrick were pulling strings behind the curtain like puppet masters. Every post, every tease felt like he was building up to something explosive. Fans waited for that so-called red button drop that he swore would expose everything, but it never came. No bombshell, no receipts, just silence. The hype fizzled out, leaving everyone wondering if there was ever any truth behind the talk at all.
This is legitimately a RICO money laundering situation between the three major labels and the biggest radio conglomerate in the world.
Mm-hmm. Do you understand the red button a little more now?
Oh, Drake's lawsuit certainly added to this.
Drake's most loyal fans held on tight to the dream that something huge was coming. They swore he was about to drop the ultimate expose, maybe even take over UMG or walk away with billions in revenge money. Social media was buzzing with wild predictions, edits, and fan-made evidence pulled from his live streams. But behind the scenes, the truth was crumbling fast. The case was falling apart, and all that confidence his supporters had was built on smoke. Just recycled clips, overhyped theories, and wishful thinking. The empire of belief started cracking right before their eyes.
I think Drake is gonna ask for something that no artist has ever asked for or received. And it's gonna be very interesting to see if he receives that.
As far as money?
As far as compensation for damages.
On the lawsuit side.
Absolutely. We talking upwards of $2 billion.
$2 billion?
Absolutely.
The court wasn't buying it. Judge Vargas pointed out that most of Drake's so-called evidence came straight from Twitter threads posted by his own fans and clips from DJ Academic's live streams. Not exactly solid sources. She called it what it was, non-verifiable internet speculation. That line alone went viral. It was a polite way of saying you can't build a federal case off gossip and live stream talk. The courtroom energy shifted quick, and what was meant to look like a power move suddenly felt like a messy internet rumor gone too far.
Using DJ Academic's live stream clips as factual information to support his botting claims.
So I was promised payments after, but up front I was promised $5K.
Okay.
They told me it was for a big artist, promised $5K up front. And then I was also promised after the song performed, I was also gonna receive, a little percentage of the song, so points on the song.
By the time the final ruling dropped, everyone could see it. The whole case had played out more like a performance than a real legal battle. It wasn't about justice anymore. It was about pride, image, and damage control. Drake's lawsuit came off like a symbolic stand against public embarrassment, not a fight for truth. Judge Vargas didn't hesitate. She threw out the claims completely, making it crystal clear that artistic rivalries aren't defamation just because one artist takes the L in the public eye. In hip-hop, losing favor doesn't mean you've been wronged. It's part of the game.
The fact that Drake is biracial. So I'm looking at it from a black and white perspective, okay? His daddy's side engaged in a rap battle. His daddy said, go out there and fight, go out there and fight. And then when Kendrick busted his ass, his mama's side said, oh no, Aubrey, we going to the police. Okay.
Looking back, Drake's big legal gamble didn't save him. It only made the fall hit harder. What was supposed to be a power move ended up making him look less like a mastermind and more like an artist struggling to accept defeat. Meanwhile, UMG walked away spotless, still sitting on the majority of his classic catalog, the same hits that built his entire empire. Now at nearly 40, Drake's chasing a new chapter, still searching for that next reinvention while Not Like Us lives on as the cultural anthem of his biggest public L. Critics see that lawsuit as a warning. When ego overshadows art, even legends can lose sight of the very game they created. Like, subscribe, share, comment, and see you on the next one.